Hello, my name is Julia Genevieva, and this is Promises by Shirley King. Thank you. It all started when 3 huge men arrived in chainsaws. That's when Mom tied herself to a redwood she called Henry. Tall and stately, Henry was a tree of a few words, but when the wind stirred his branches, you could almost hear him murmuring what sounded like a mantra. I am here, and here I will stay. Mom promised that those woods would remain untouched, and Mom never ever went back on her promises. Every year, she used to put a few bright ornaments on Henry just to help him celebrate Christmas. And I remember, she was joined by Lucy Morris and Adeline Harper. Now, Lucy lived right next door. And Adeline, well, she didn't really have a view of the woods, but it didn't matter. She loved them anyway. And the tree cutters, they were so baffled. I mean, they had not signed up for this. And at first, they tried persuasion. Ladies, come on. You don't want to get hurt, do you? No, of course you don't. Please, step aside. Well, that was a call to arms. And those arms belonged to Lucy and Adeline that used them to embrace 2 other trees. There will be no stepping aside, and furthermore, there will be no tree cutting, Adeline declared. Now, Adeline graduated Stanford, which means she was the authority on everything. And notice I didn't say graduated from, because I did make that mistake once, and Adeline corrected me. She said, we do not graduate from, we graduate, or we advance, or we progress. We may even matriculate. Well, I don't know about that. Wasn't quite sure what matriculate meant, but I think it meant something else, entirely different. So, when Mom and her posse did not want to move, the foreman stepped in. Ma'am, you don't understand. We're trying to build a community center, and we're not going to cut down every single tree, just enough to clear the site. No, you don't understand, Mom shot back. These woods have been here for generations. They're miraculous. They've survived earthquakes and fires, and our children need to know that they can still count on a few miracles when they have children of their own. So, by all means, go. Build our community center, but you're not going to do it here. It's not up for discussion. And go they did. We weren't sure what would happen next, but it didn't take too long until a picture of Mom tied to Henry popped up on the front page of the Daily Dispatch, and then people were storming in to the council meeting, demanding that the woods remain uncut. Now, I feel like demanding is a pretty good word to describe this, but of course not Adeline. Don't you think demanding is a bit uncivilized? I prefer convincing or insisting, even contending. Okay. You know what? I decided to cut her some slack. Why? Because we won. They built the community center right next to the library, and our trees were saved. Well, actually, Mom and her friends won. I was too young to appreciate it at the time. That is, So I became a teenager filled with angst. And I didn't want to hear the grown-ups say, forget it, get over it. What I needed was listening. So I retreated to the woods. And Henry was a really good listener. And now Mom's in a nursing home. And she's asking me to sell the house. But not just to anyone. Only to someone who is willing to love and respect her woods. And it is a really tall order, but I promised her that I would try to do my best. So this morning, Sharon, the realtor, called me and she's telling me that she found this perfect buyer, a woman that's single, and she just adored all the kitchen cabinets. Now, obviously, Mom did not buy this house because of the kitchen cabinets. She brought them because she could see this magnificent view of the woods from her kitchen every single day. So talking to Sharon on my cell, and I'm like, wait, but Sharon, did the buyer happen to say anything about the woods? And she paused for a really long time. And she's like, well, let me think. She's like, no, I don't think she even noticed all those trees. She was more interested in the kitchen. Come on. You mean she didn't say anything about the woods? I was shocked. Sharon. And then she's like, well, so do we have a deal? The buyer is willing to pay the asking price and she didn't even try to negotiate. But Sharon, what kind of buyer doesn't want to negotiate? Isn't that what selling houses is all about? But you know what? Did not wait for Sharon to tell me what selling houses was all about in case she wanted to pull an Adeline on me. Sharon, this is not up for discussion. Do you want to see me wheel my mom out in the woods and watch her as she ties herself to Henry again? And that's exactly what will happen if we sell to the wrong buyer. So here is the deal. Here is the deal. When we can find some buyer who is willing to love and respect those woods, call me. And then we'll talk. Because you see, these woods are miraculous. They have been here for generations. They have survived earthquakes and fires. And huge men with chainsaws. And now more than ever, we all need miracles in our lives. We do. Don't we? Julia Genevieva, thank you.